This is OwlUp, where learning happens in minutes, not hours. For a deeper journey, explore all our courses at owlup.co. Now, let's dive in. Chapter 1 of The Psychology of Pricing: Why We Pay What We Pay. Welcome to Pricing Psychology. In this chapter, you'll learn: define pricing psychology and its importance in the market. Let's dive in. You change a price by just 1 cent, and sales jump. A jacket at $49 sells far better than the same jacket at $50. In this episode, we're stepping into that tiny gap where almost 50 suddenly feels like 40-something, and exploring why our brains happily fall for it. $279 can feel like a smart deal, while $349 feels like a stretch, until you see them side by side, and suddenly $279 looks almost cheap. That shift isn't about math, it's about context. In this episode, we move from treating price as a single number to seeing it as part of a whole story your brain reads in the background. What it used to cost, what it might cost elsewhere, and what it says about you if you buy it. Retailers quietly script that story. A compare at tag, a crossed-out original price, a strangely unattractive third option on a menu, each acts like a supporting character nudging the hero, you, toward a specific choice. Online, this gets supercharged. A/B tests cycle through tiny price tweaks and layouts, watching what you click, abandon, or rush to grab before "only 2 left" disappears. Scroll through any online store and notice how few prices feel random. Those $17, $27, or $47 offers, the jump from a starter to pro plan, the way one option suddenly seems just right, these patterns are rarely accidents. Behind them sit teams and algorithms trying to choreograph not just what you choose, but how confident you feel choosing it. In this episode, we'll zoom out from single tactics and look at the larger playbook: how digital products, subscriptions, travel sites, and even donation pages quietly shape your sense of fair, expensive, and too good to pass up. A $30 bottle of wine tastes better than the same wine at $10, not because your tongue changes, but because your brain quietly rewrites the script. In labs, scanners light up the brain's valuation circuits when people sip wine they believe is more expensive. Price doesn't just describe the product, it edits your experience while you're using it. That's where pricing psychology becomes less about getting the click and more about shaping the entire journey. A higher price can pull a product into a "this must be good" category. Think luxury skincare or enterprise software, while a too low price can kick it into probably flimsy territory. Drop a premium SaaS tool from $99 to $9 without explanation, and you don't only lose revenue, you risk collapsing trust. The same happens in services. A consultant who suddenly halves their rate can make clients quietly wonder what's wrong. Online, this plays out in real time. Platforms feed on streams of behavioral data: how long you hover, when you bounce, which plan you compare, to adjust offers around you. Airlines watch booking curves and raise or lower fares as routes fill. Ride-sharing apps nudge demand with surge multipliers, but also with how they frame them. 2.1x feels harsher than high demand, prices temporarily increased. The number moves, but so does the story around it. Dynamic systems can also segment attitudes, not just wallets. One visitor sees a steep launch discount with a countdown. Another, who returns 3 times, sees a loyalty upgrade at a different price. The math may be similar, but the narrative, "you're early" versus "you're valued," changes how fair the deal feels. The risk is crossing from influence into exploitation. Drip fees that appear only at checkout, pre-ticked add-ons, or fake scarcity push beyond gentle steering and into regulatory crosshairs. Regulators in the US and EU increasingly treat deceptive pricing layouts like any other dark pattern. Your task, whether you sell or buy, is to see price as a moving, interpretive layer. For businesses, That means testing structures that enhance perceived quality and clarity, not just revenue. For consumers, it means noticing when the deal feeling comes from real fit versus artfully arranged numbers. A streaming service quietly tests 3 plans: basic, standard, and premium. Hardly anyone picks basic. It exists mostly to make standard feel like the sensible choice, especially when premium is just a little more and framed with words like best for families. The same logic shows up on fundraising pages where a middle donation option is pre-selected, and the highest tier gets a label like most impact, steering generosity upward without changing your budget ceiling. In travel, hotel sites highlight one room as great value, not the cheapest, but the one that balances price and perks. That gentle spotlight nudges you away from both extremes. Over time, these tiny design choices train your internal reference points: what a normal subscription should cost, what a fair flight price feels like. Like a seasoned investor glancing at a stock chart, you start reacting to patterns faster than to the raw numbers, often without noticing who drew the chart. A quiet shift is coming. Prices that flex not just by demand, but by who you are, what you care about, and when you're most persuadable. Your carbon footprint badge, refill habits, even how quickly you abandon carts could feed into bespoke offers. It may feel like getting friend rates, yet also like walking into a market where every stall owner knows your salary. Your future power move is learning when to lean into personalization and when to walk away from it. As prices adapt to you, not just the market, the line between fair offer and quiet pressure blurs. Your future edge is curiosity. Ask why this number, this timer, this bundle appears now. Treat price like a map legend. Decode the symbols before you follow the route, and you'll choose when to chase a deal and when to redraw the path yourself. Start with this tiny habit. When you open your laptop to work, whisper to yourself, "I'm pricing the outcome, not the hours." And then increase today's price for one offer by just $1. The next time you send or edit a proposal, add one simple, outcome-focused sentence like, "This price reflects the value of specific result they care about, not the time it takes." When you see a price tag while shopping today, online or in-store, pause for 3 seconds and ask, "What story is this price trying to tell me?" This was OwlUp, your daily step forward. To keep learning with structured courses and more insights, go to owlup.co. Until tomorrow!